Do da ba do da boo da boo da boo. Hey, good to have you back, everybody. Here we are yet again for episode 21, a very special show. We are fully legal now. Well, on that note, we have an issue here. As most of you know, we've sent Michael across the continent to experience what many have wanted to. Few have, well, not few, but a lot of people. But he got to go to con, and he's back. And boy, does he look like he's been the ringer. He got
You
chewed out and pooped out by the machine that is San Diego Comic Con.
talking to me?
Yeah, we're talking to you, Michael. You back? Are you back from the dead?
I don't know where I am right now. I feel like a weekend
Is
at
this real
Bernie's.
life?
Oh man, is this real life? I don't
Was
know.
Comic Con
Yeah,
such an incredible experience that it's like out of body?
yeah, kind of was. Having not been there for the last 10 years and going back, I was in the belly of the beast
The
for
belly of the beast,
wow.
fully
Yeah.
digested,
Oh boy,
processed
I just
through the large
pooped out.
intestine, out that colon.
Oh yeah, straight out, just like slathered in Comic Con
Wow. I'm happy you
fluid.
survived. I'm happy you're back, and I'm happy we're here on our 21st
Yay,
episode. I'm going to call this the Comic
21st.
Con recap special. Woo! Michael!
Here's a
Uh,
21. It's so exciting.
yeah, so tell us, Mike, how was your weekend? On just a general note, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel wasted. I feel blown out, you know?
Oof.
Uh,
Are
yeah.
you happy? Are you happy it's our 21st episode?
I am. I
We're
am.
fully
I
adult.
really am. We're
We
21
can now
years old. We can now drink on the show,
drink. We can
and I don't
gamble.
we can gamble depending on what state we're in. Yeah.
Speaking of gambling, Michael, how did our poker chips do at Comic Con?
Very well. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's interesting," and it was different from the occasional sticker or any sort of little memorabilia piece,
It's a
a
good piece.
promotional tactic. I think it was very unique. You didn't see anyone else handing out poker chips, that's for sure.
I
So,
know.
and they looked cool, they felt cool, and the hand in your pocket, and the fact that they scan, they have the QR code, the big thing, and
That's a fun
so,
one.
yeah, that's a really fun one. It's a part of the whole,
Yeah,
idea behind the
get out there,
marketing.
let people see your name, get to that website, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, that was awesome. That's awesome. And I would like to
Yeah.
say, if anybody's interested, I think we got a few left. So let's say what, Mikey, the next 20 people that send us a message, we'll send one out. Send us a
Yeah,
message.
if they comment or a message just anywhere like on Instagram or on YouTube, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, say yeah, give us what was the catchphrase? Cats out of the bag.
That's out of the bag.
Yeah, tell us cats out of the bag on the message board, and we'll get in contact. We'll send you a chip if you guys are interested in partaking in some of this
Yeah,
delicious swag handed out at Comic Con.
absolutely. And there's another Comic Con not too far away in New York that's in October, early October. So,
Yeah, we'll get
um,
some more for that one. That'll be
yeah, if you're,
fantastic.
if you're gonna go there, then holla at your boys,
Oh,
because
there you go.
we'll be out there as well for sure.
Yeah,
But
I think
yeah,
you also got like a good video of one of your associates trying out the chip, didn't you?
yeah, we're gonna post that later. Justin, in marketing at Bandai, who gave me the tour, which is gonna be up on the channel. He, took me around, showed me around what they had, and oh, man, you're awesome. So he got a shirt because he's such an awesome dude. And I gave him a chip. He scanned in, so he was like game with the whole thing. So super, super
That's
awesome
awesome.
dude.
Well, a marketing guy, he's got to love the marketing, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. So the fact that the market, like, the senior marketing guy is like, oh yeah, I also, like this is really cool.
The
It's just
great.
like, what, we did pretty good. We did pretty good.
Nice,
So
nice. It's nice. We want to get our name out there, grow the channel, get to be able to go and do more things, get into more, mischief and bring it to our fellow toy collectors here on the show. So, spread
yeah,
the word, folks, get our name out there. Let's grow the channel and see what other amazing doors we can open.
yeah. Yeah, exactly,
But
exactly. So
speaking of opening doors, Michael, you got to go to through some of the biggest doors in pop culture,
I
the San
mean, yeah,
Diego Comic-Con doors.
those exhibit doors. Yeah,
I mean,
man.
that's I think what
Exciting.
everybody yeah, everybody's here to hear about this. Tell us like physically how do you feel? How was it? Like
Yeah,
did you
well, getting there was a little tricky. Was like trying to understand how the lay of the land is, because I don't really remember how it was getting to con and all that. So I took a bus, I took a train, I walked over to the Comic Con floor, I had luggage with me. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be difficult because I was staying with shout out also to Adam Gonzo and his lovely bride to be that housed this orphan of a man and took me in when no one else would, gave me shelter and sheets when everyone kicked me to the curb. And it's
Gonzo! Shout out.
shout out to Gonzo. Yeah. So, super, super cool dude. Dog. Really beautiful, big chunk of a bulldog named Lola, who I think we fell in love. We definitely had a connection. Um,
Man, I hope you didn't come back with any STDs.
no, not like that. We just petted. Jeez. Why do we
Hey,
have to
that's how
go
it
there?
starts,
It's only like 10 minutes into the show.
That's how it starts for a lot of people with the petting, Michael. I'm just saying. I'm trying to watch
The
out
head
for you.
goes from petting to
But so, did you sleep good? Did you poop good? Did you eat
yeah.
good?
Speaking of which, I mean, this is not a sponsor at all, but I gotta give a shout out to Caterpillar underwear, boxer
Oh,
briefs. I'm a boxer brief man, and I pride myself on a good pair, not a pair of balls, but a good pair of underwear.
you need good
And
support.
yeah, I need the support. I need the suction, but also the breathability, the cupping of the testine, and just overall a quality product that helps me go in there, go and say, hey, nothing's leaking out of this package. You're a okay, and that's Caterpillar boxer briefs. I don't know if they'll ever get a better sort of promotion than we're giving them right now,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
they build their underwear the way they build their heavy equipment.
sturdy
Sturdy America made.
for the American man who doesn't want to get any
Man,
leakage.
the American sack.
The American sack. No duck butter coming out of this pack.
No seepage here. Keeping it
No
clean.
seepage here. All intact, all American.
Well,
Caterpillar
that's awesome.
underwear.
I'm glad Caterpillar was there to give you some solid support as you
Oh,
wrangled
super
the
support.
halls of
I mean, I wouldn't have made it otherwise. And like if it was my old underwear, I'd just be like things would be leaking everywhere and be like interviewing Julian's like, hey, what's that smell? I'm like, I don't know. And then you look down, I'm just in a puddle of my own filth. But Caterpillar, man, kept it all intact.
there you go.
Caterpillar, the
Survival
underwear for the Comic Con man.
survival tip number 1 to Comic-Con, good supportive briefs.
You
Caterpillar.
do. You need it. We talk about deodorant and breath mint, and I feel bad for whoever I interviewed past noon on Saturday because I had the driest mouth. I was like, tell me uptown. I was just like I could my brain couldn't process. It was so raw from just the
Um,
insanity. Yeah. Anyway, going back to Wednesday, getting my badge, super pumped, super plumped to kind of go through and check out everything, and little kind of like unsure of how to manage and get around. And I connected with some people that were at the McFarlane, a special event that was happening right before the doors open for preview night. And then preview night was just like everyone running through and pretty chaotic and trying to decide, okay, do I go Bandai? Do I try to go to Mezco? Do I go to Four Horsemen? There's just all these different booths. Luckily, everything is kind of close together. But then when there's this mass of humanity and people going back and forth and trying to get from point A to point B to point C, point D, it can be a little chaotic. So, I think I decided to go Bandai first. And oh man, I cleared them out. So,
you balls to the wall.
balls to the wall, and
Give me
like
everything.
everything. Went full Gary Oldman on him. So,
They do good.
yeah,
They do
man,
great products. They do great products at
they really
Bandai.
do.
What
They really
do you
do.
think
They really do.
your favorite thing you saw at Bandai was?
Oh, the Cyclops. The
Was it?
the
I
the
mean, that's
Cyclops.
a big one. People are talking about that Cyclops. You got to see it in hand. How was the thong? How was the scale? Tell us.
Down with the thong. Like the thong, they had it in position where you couldn't see the full 360 version. I guess if you gone around, you could see a little bit better. But I think that for like it's so minor in the pictures, and it's I don't know. You can like have tunnel vision and just like kind of stare at one thing, and it's just like it tracks you from the rest of the figure. But for my money, man, that is going to be the best Cyclops on the market. Just just because it's just like a beautiful figure.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. There was some teases that we saw online. Can you confirm or
Mm.
deny? We saw some ads of Spider-Man that was being teased that was supposed to be like there's going to be the next one. They were saying a lot of people were saying that the blank figure that they had there was like a stand-in for the Spider-Man.
Mhm.
What did you hear?
Um, not heard anything. I even brought up Spider-Man. You'll see that in the interview with Justin. We talked about Gamerverse, and funny enough, Gamerverse. I mean, this Cyclops. When we did our interview with Justin at Toy Fair, Cyclops and like the pictures and everything of him were actually on the floor in a room that we were just like 5 inches away from. Justin was telling me, and so it was already like this has like, been planned out for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
figures, there's like a a tight schedule for these things, so it's not like they just thought about it last month. Like, hey, let's design it. This is like months and months, like a year in advance type of thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
It's
but
definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting to see the production of how long it takes for things to go into, from where when we finally get to see an image or something, a prototype, but we don't really see how long it's actually been in the pipeline for them. So it's interesting to see that they've had it all the way since, back then. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So you're my photos. So this was on preview night. I believe it was on preview night. I went to the night the other day after. I think it was on preview night because I was like, this thing is awesome. This is just absolutely stunning. Um, yeah, I was all in on the Cyclops
And
because
scale wise, did he measure up? Did they, there was a controversy between the height of him. He was going to be smaller, then he was bigger. Did he look good to you?
look good to me. Look good to me. LB 6.1. It's hard to say because he's not staying neutral with any other figure, and you
Mhm.
can't compare him. You can't like imagine like I just go and bring a Jada and put him next to him. Like, oh, that looks pretty good. Like I can't
A
really
moment,
do that.
please.
Yeah, can you open the gates for me, please? We need to figure this out really quick. So it looks like it's gonna scale. Like the figure doesn't look tiny at all. It doesn't look small. It doesn't look like stocky. It's a figure where it's figure, but it looks like it has some heft and size to it all. So I think this is gonna measure pretty well with the rest of your Marvel versus Capcom Gamerverse collection, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I was super excited. It looked really good. And then yeah, there was that other body, that other sculpt, which is the Body Cunt Sports Edition, um,
Right.
which I don't know if that is the base body for some of their other figures. It looked smaller than the Cyclops. The Cyclops had a way bigger. It looked like it had like a bigger arm, chest, everything. And it looks like you said, is that a Spider-Man body? Is that what they're trying to tease right there? Just to point out, like, oh, we're trying to like show off, like like a demo stage, like a training stage that you would see in the game. It's like, okay, I
Right.
get that, but you know,
It makes
Spider-Man makes obvious sense to
it
be
makes
the
me
next
think like,
character.
and like, I think they don't wanna say because they can't, but it would be interesting
Right.
to think maybe they wanted to have a Spider-Man here. That's why the leaks or teases came out, but
Hmm.
because they can get the prototype in time, they just did this, but,
Yeah.
we don't know, you gotta play it, close to the chest, so we'll have to wait and see, hopefully that Spider-Man materializes in the near future.
Yeah, he was saying that people internally were excited to see everyone's response, and they recognize there's a big audience for that, and he hopes that it has legs. This is not a one and done deal. I mean that I think that's very certain. This is not like, oh, we're gonna wait a year to get the next Game Reverse figure. This is gonna be, like has something for New York. I mean, this is just me speculating. They could easily have something for New York Comic Con. Well, Cyclops had just arrived from China,
Right.
um, basically that week. So it was like they were hoping to get it, and they weren't sure, but it came in. So that was
Excellent.
really good. It's really,
I'm
really
glad it
cool
showed
event.
up so many people got to see it in person and kinda, answer a lot of these questions people have been having of what it will actually, be like when it does get released, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else? What Comic Con's a big beast. Did you
Mhm.
go on with expectations? Was there something that you were like, oh, I'm expecting it to be like this. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be this, or were you just completely cut off guard by the insane Thunderdome that it really is?
A little bit of both, a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. Knew going in it was going to be kind of chaotic. Wasn't sure how chaotic. Wasn't sure how spaced out things were going to be. Just a body of people bumping into each other, just men bumping meat all over the place. So you just have to kind of be prepared for that, which you never really are, because you don't know the layout of everything until you get there. Like, oh, this is gonna be because there's not like organized lines really, because there's just like people against the wall and then people
Oh yeah,
trying to squeeze through. Like that hasn't changed from any Comic Con in the past.
yeah.
It's all
I like to describe it as an ocean of flesh. It's just a whole
yeah,
bunch of people moving, and like you said, it's not a line, it's not, anything with like a structure. It's just
uh,
ebbs and flows, this like giant wave of flesh moving around the booths and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah,
it's intense. And I assume it's gotten even bigger and crazier since we've been there. It's been a while, so and the
yeah, for
popularity
sure.
just keeps going up and up and up. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
But all in
uh,
all, was
oh
it,
no, yeah.
tolerable, a good experience? Was it overwhelmingly like, "Oh, this is just too much. I can't do it," or it was totally,
I did
a good
it.
experience?
No, there was no way I was gonna say like I can't do it, Captain. I've got all she's got. I couldn't do that. Not on opening night, not on Thursday. It was like you just kind of push through. You press on. You figure it out. You gotta figure stuff out. All right. You can't take no for an answer. So it all worked out. Because there was stuff that I wanted to send your way. Things that you were really excited about, and then I was excited about, like checking out as well. Thing that I wasn't sure that was going to work out worked out. I went to the like the Hasbro breakfast, which was really cool. Hashtag shill. Hashtag I'll do it for the money. So it was great. It was like super cool because that's actually a fun experience because you actually got to play with the toys. You
Yeah,
know,
that was
you're at
awesome. I know you were a little worried because you told me you didn't get an invite, off the bat, and you thought you got snubbed.
Comic. Yeah, I mean, shout out again to like the dudes there, especially like Dan Yoon. Like he was helping me kind of like figure out how to get through that because it can be like, it's crazy for everyone involved. It's crazy for
A
all the
lot of
team from
people.
Hasbro, for the PR people, because there's way more of an influx of social personalities, social media personalities, and influencers and toy tubers and all that. Hey, great mug by the way. Um, and yeah, it was cool to be a part of that. Met some really cool people, which I'm going to post video of. I saw Robo and Veebs and Carbon Scoring, who I'm a big fan of, and they participated in our comic conversations. Also, Geek Affected, and then Legends crew, Dan, Dwight, and then Mr. Stevie that we posted earlier on the
Fantastic,
weekend.
fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it worked. And that was such a cool event. Like I said, you get to play with the figures, to feel it in your hand. There's that literal wall between you, the glass between you and the figure. You can't really
Right, right,
handle it,
right.
you see how they feel. But this one, we actually got to hold Wolverine, and see how it felt, and pose him up a little bit. And Captain America, I think I was very surprised how much I liked it. There was a matte finish on him, which with Legends sometimes they have sort of that glossy look, and it happened with Maximum Spider-Man. People did a matte coat on it so they can kind of get that look. But Captain America was a big standout for me. I liked War Machine, and we talked about it a little at the breakfast with Dwight in terms of a lot of these figures, because this is basically all there is planned right now for this program of Gamerverse. There's not a wave two that seemed to be worked on. If it is, maybe they're keeping it super hush hush and they want to talk about it. But as far as and they seem pretty honest about it. But yeah, there's not like a thing. I mean, look, with X-Men '97, it took them how long to get to wave three? You know, I mean,
Yes.
it's been over a year, right, since the last wave. So
And our hope is always that Hasbro kind of understands, the demand for these things. I mean, like 97 was kind of hard because no one really knew what was going to happen with 97 when it came out. Was it going to be successful? Was it completely going to flop? And I think a lot of manufacturing was off the schedule. I think we got them really early, or just because maybe it was the release of the show that got pushed back. We don't know. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I think that contributed to a little bit of the unknown for that show and the toy
Yeah.
line. Now that we've kind of stabilized a little more, then just when they announced this line, the reception was overwhelming. I mean, everybody that I talked to heard about this was like over the moon that they were doing this. So my hope
Mhm.
would be that Hasbro would have like say, "So we got something big here. We need to
Yep.
move on another one." So my hope is that hopefully, they were playing coy and we don't have to wait as long as we did for, 97 to continue in the toys. We'll get
Yeah.
a second wave of the Gamerverse Capcom figures here. But yeah, it's hard to know when they're keeping it to themselves pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, they had been internally pushing this for a couple of years before they actually released them announced. So this was always a work in progress, and I think it was on the back of Marvel versus Capcom, the collection. That Capcom collection that came out, and when that came out, it was like, okay, so this is like a big possibility. This is like there is a big market for this. There's gamer collectors, and there's such a connecting thread between the two, and so it just made all the sense to be like, okay, back then game like we can go for these things. It's not so outdated or something. So,
Yeah, I
um,
definitely hope we get to see some more because I know everyone's talking about people want to see Magneto, people want to see Doctor Doom. There's
yep,
so many great characters like Spider-Man. I
yeah.
mean, so many good ones.
Oh,
So
we talked about it. I even mentioned like, okay, like what would you want to do? And Dwight said, a big Sentinel. Like a
yeah,
like a 10-inch Sentinel that looks like it's gamer verse fire that is a made to order or something like that. They even said like, man, how cool would it be if like we did an apocalypse, but like the half size apocalypse from the chest up with the drill and all the interchangeable arms. So like they're fans of the stuff. They're not just like talking out their butt or giving marketing
yeah,
points or anything. They're like actual and like they love what they do. It's very obvious, right? And it's cool to see their enthusiasm for it, and that they know that people do love this stuff. When Dwight said it eats, like the 8-inch, 12, 10-inch Sentinel was like, okay, now we know what we're talking about. Like we're on the
yeah.
same page here.
I
So
mean, we've talked about that. That would be a fantastic figure. That's always been on top of one of my list of the ones I like to see from the original game. So, man, if we get that in the second wave, I think the excitement and just the energy for this wave will just continue to grow. And yeah, exciting, exciting. I wish we, would have more information of what the future looks like, but hey, we'll just have
yeah,
to, enjoy what's here for now, and hopefully
right.
we'll get some great stuff in the near future.
Well, in terms of these figures too, he was mentioning some of them, and it wasn't in my interview, but I did kind of bring it up. But at the breakfast, they were saying like a lot of these characters you'll probably see in single releases and like retro card. For example, it's a brand new
Right.
Psylocke. It would be malpractice to just do a 2-pack version and never do a release of like that Psylocke, maybe in different colors or something like that.
Right.
But they're gonna be like that specific style is going to be used later on in the future day. When that will be, who knows? Same thing for like parts of that Captain America, perhaps. War Machine. I brought up the leg issue where it's like almost perfect. The legs aren't matching the art. He's like, well, we did release the Sprite version, the modular Iron Man with a black leg, but like I totally understand. I could definitely see us down the line doing a single release of that War Machine with the proper legs. So
Right.
so what
Okay.
excites me because then it's like, all right, cancel my Walmart pre-order. No, I'm still getting it, but you never know. Things can change all the time, right? But I did like that figure a lot when I held it. Like, oh, you know what? Actually, looks really cool.
That's
So
awesome.
it's fine. But this Captain America butterflies are really good. I was trying like I had my camera under or on my chest, and trying to film it and make sure I caught everything. I think I did a fairly decent job for one person. I mean, like people had like I
Hey,
even filmed
oh,
for
they look
Wade.
wonderful.
I mean, thank you. It's like I try real hard to make it happen. Wolverine, yeah, this one's awesome. Like, look at this ab crunch, that torso, the way that thing moves. You can
Yeah,
get really deep in there. He
a lot of
bent
people are
backwards.
concerned about the articulation, the single, jointed elbows. What's what you thought of playing with it?
Yeah. So I turn it around here. You can see like how that elbow digs in, and it like goes right against the bicep. So it goes more than 90. That's for sure.
So it's a
'Cause it like,
it's single jointed, but the range seems to be pretty extensive. It's not so short,
yeah,
only like a 90-degree.
it's not gonna dig up, like all the way, just because the way they design it. That massive bicep of Wolverine, so it's gonna get hindered at some point. Maybe if they had done double, you can get a little bit more, but maybe it wouldn't have been that much more. Like, there's a little,
Right,
tease of what will show off later, but like that's your traditional single,
right.
but he doesn't have the massive
Yeah.
bicep like Wolverine does. So
Right.
yeah.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, he does have an interesting articulation point, which again was like one of those things where like I did make him cross and he could cross, but his butterfly, his chest, there's no real butterfly cut to the chest.
Mm,
Just like another example, like I'll bring here in the little this camera, like on Bison, you can see there's like a butterfly cut here. It's a
right.
little bright there, but it helps him bring his shoulder and his whole arm forward towards his chest. He doesn't have that. He has sort of like a McFarlane where there's like a little like ball joint in there, and
Yeah,
then
for
like
the
a little
arms.
like disc where you can move it around in this sort of way. So it
Mhm.
can come through, but the chest is solid. So there's no cut in there. But it still works. It's not like the perfect thing where like it's like elbows can cross, but you can
Right.
manipulate it in a way where you can get the pretty like iconic like X, pose. So
Right. Excellent.
yeah.
Oh, I was watching this thing that was really cool the other day, and I never noticed this, but in the game, all the X-Men, when they do their supers, they do an X with their arms. Did you know
Yeah.
when we played the game? I
Yeah.
never I never noticed that they were all doing an X
Oh yeah,
until
they all do it.
they
Yeah.
all do an X. It's like Cyclops does it, Rogue does it, Wolverine obviously does it.
Psylocke, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I never noticed that." I thought that was a cool feature that I totally missed playing the game.
Right. You're just like so overwhelmed by the art
Yeah.
of it all. Like you don't even catch those things that are so thought out. But yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like with these figures, you want to be able to replicate all that, right? And
Yeah.
it seems like they do. Shumagorath, for example, the eye articulation is just so gnarly. Just the way
Yeah,
you
I
can do
always thought
like
that
move
was
the eye around.
I always thought that was the coolest thing of this figure, and what pretty much sold me on it was, like, the cool way they did the eye with the moving ball on the inside and then the closing lids and everything that kinda really give them expression. What did you think? This one seems to be I mean, it's a pretty different figure than the standard, humanoid body. How did you enjoy messing around with this guy?
Yeah, I like Dan looking to the side and be like, "Is he ruining that toy?" But
Oh, he broke it.
uh, oh, he broke it. Damn it! Gotta kick him out. Can we kick him out?
Why did we let him in the breakfast?
No, he's great. So like there, I'm just trying to bend it to see how far it can go, and it can go pretty well. There's a certain point where like the tubing inside doesn't all the way past the tentacle. Like it doesn't go through the whole tentacle. Like there's like a midpoint of it, of mid tenty. It's just like a sort of like already like a already in place like position that you
Yeah.
can't move. But
I
other
feel
than that,
like
it's
a lot of
really
guys know what you're talking about, Michael.
yeah, at a certain point, it just doesn't get bigger, and so you don't go full gargantos sometimes. You can only go semi gargantos. So but the thing's full gargantos, like let me tell you, and like it just felt really smooth. And I try to kind of do like the pose where he looks to the side after he does a special, and you can
Yeah.
replicate that, and you can find a way we can pose it. I mean, the tentacles are strong; they're not going to give way. It doesn't feel like they're going to break at any point or lose their tightness, and you can move them each and every way. And the eye is just so great. I'm
Yeah.
so happy they decided to like you can actually move the eye, you can shift eyelids, so it just adds so much expressions and
Yeah.
personality that if they didn't do that, it would have really hindered the figure. But with that,
And
it makes
one
it to
thing
stand out.
one thing people were complaining about or, kind of questioning was the scale of it. Do you feel it's too big?
Um, It maybe be a little too big, but I wanted to ask him, and it's like in hindsight, like, oh yeah, so like what's the deal with the scale, and so, but I think playing with it, and when you put it to other people, if it was smaller, maybe it would feel slight, and maybe you can put all that kind of tubing in there so that it would be so structurally sound. But when you have it in hand and you fold it around, I think it works fine. So it's not gonna, like, it is big for sure, and like if it's a little bit smaller, I think it'd still work. But I think at the end of the day, you're getting a really awesome figure, and it fits so perfectly in that. In that, I would have again, like seeing this, it would have been like, would you ever do a pink version, down the line, or is green the only one? So
Yeah, that
um,
would have been interesting to know.
I
But
can a lot of these questions though we can save for New York Comic Con, which I'm sure they'll be there as well. So if other people have questions that we didn't ask or follow ups as well, we can definitely put these down on the to do list when we talk to Dan or Dwight, or Dan and Dwight at
yeah,
Comic Con New York.
do some follow up on just like all the little things we come up with after the fact and see what
Yeah,
other
yeah,
insight we can get. Because
yeah,
it would be cool. A lot of people would like to see the pink version because it's very, classic to the game. And it definitely, player twos are very popular. You see Jetta doing it with their Street Fighter figures.
yeah,
So, yeah, some player two colors would be pretty sweet for this game. So let's see
yeah,
what they have. Maybe in the single release, how they were saying,
yeah.
or a lot of the characters too. Maybe in a separate show. We'll see. We'll see. But did they mostly only have Marvel Legends, or was there any other Hasbro property at the breakfast?
Oh yeah, they had all of them. They had Transformers. They had Como te dice. They had GI Joe Classified. They showed the Pythona over there. That's where they debuted her at the Hasbro breakfast. She looked really cool. She's a fall
Did look cool.
exclusive, so I definitely want to get my hands on that one. I gotta do any like GI Joe the movie stuff. I'm like all, and like any like of those kind of characters I
Yeah,
love. So
fantastic.
um,
Was there
yeah,
any which
yeah,
from all
it
the
was
stuff
cool.
you saw at the breakfast? What was the one that you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get that one home?
I mean, Gameverse. It's like it's just, yeah. It's just no. There's like no contest. I mean, like the Juggernaut is just like so fun. The way you move that torso around, and he just feels so nimble. I dropped him by accident,
Oh,
oh crap! But like he was fine. Like no scratches, didn't break apart.
everybody looked
And
at you.
everyone like got quiet and I'm like
You
sorry,
got
and
the scares of shame.
I almost pooped myself, but thank God for Caterpillar underwear that holds in all of your urine and poop in case of shock emergencies. Caterpillar.
Caterpillar, keeping you fresh even when you're not.
That's a good tagline.
Excellent, excellent.
um, yeah.
Did you get
So,
to eat anything good at the breakfast, or were you just to
oh,
and fro
yeah,
with the
yeah,
food?
yeah. They had some sausage. I was full of toys, but I got some sausages. I had some little pieces of fruit, little melon, little honeydew, and little watermelon. It was great. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. It was fun, and just seeing everyone else that was there having a good time, and um, yeah, yeah, I was in a really good mood. So it was a really good start of the day towards Thursday, where we had all the panels, the Jada panel. I mean, we can just kind of get to stuff if you want to.
Yeah.
Um, Jada, it blew my mind. They usually do, and they just had tons of debuts. I was really excited because after the panel, everyone was swarming over to the Jada booth to see like all the actual figures up close. And so when he was putting everything away, he's like, "Can you hold Cammy?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem."
No, you're
So
like, yes. As you slowly put it in your pants and walked away.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Cammy.
No, what? What? I didn't see anything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she looks awesome in
If
the,
I
in the
would have been
player
in your
too. The pink and the silver looked really good in person,
if
and the
I would have
purple
been in
too.
your position, Mikey, she would have come home with me. I would have run straight to the to the airport and left.
Oh, I know. You would have been hightailing it out of there.
Oh my gosh, what a great figure. I was blown away. You know how much I like Cammy, one of my favorite characters ever since, New Challengers came out. And she just looks fantastic in this pink and silver. I can't wait. I was surprised to see her. I was wondering why they haven't done a player two of her, so that was really exciting. What
Yeah.
else? What else blew your mind at Jada?
right there, Ryu, Street Fighter Alpha 3. They're doing Alpha 3. They show the full lineup. So it's not just Ryu in the wave one. And you know how their waves go. It's always like, whatever comes out first. And so
Right.
that's sort of like their style. But wave one would be Ryu, would be Charge, which is my favorite.
Your
And
boy.
then, yeah, and then also Chun Li. Funny enough, that he did come up in a conversation. So a common conversation that we've been doing, which I thought was like a fun, different way of talking to people, and in short little bits. So
Yeah.
we did one with Justin at Bandai, which is going to be up. Which he was so funny. I asked him most underrated toy line. What do you think he said?
Jada.
No, no. When you think okay, think older, think Street Fighter, think Charlie.
Oh, you're the Rheosaurus?
Yep. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Resource Brothers.
I was a huge fan of that one. Did you tell him you had it?
Yeah, I did. So I had a player two Charlie. Thanks to where is it? Thanks to our sponsor.
Whoa.
Oh hell yeah!
I think that might have predated the sponsorship, but
But it was a
still,
soul of Hidden Temple Toys.
it was definitely in the what do you call it? The ancestry of Hidden Temple
The
Toy.
ancestry, yeah. But you still, I mean, you carry all sorts of like classic. So
Oh yeah, we got all sorts of great stuff, which we'll definitely talk about coming up here.
yeah,
So
but
a
yeah,
big question I when I
these look
saw this
awesome.
post on our
Mhm.
last episode, we talked about you showed us your Storm collectibles, Street Fighter Alpha Ryu.
Yeah.
Now we get hit with Jada's Street Fighter Ryu from Alpha. What were your thoughts when you got to see him in hand, knowing what you know about Storm?
Yeah, it's it's tricky, right? Because there are things I really love about Jada. Points, the evolution of their figures, how they keep getting better and better, the completion of a roster, the quality control, customer service, the accessibility. So there's so many high points for Jada, but at the end of the day, it comes to the figure, right? I don't know because I don't have this figure. I can't play with it. I can't move it around. I can't compare it to anything.
But
Uh,
visually, which one
visually,
you this time you said I love what Jada does, but I think right now the Alpha is the one.
yeah, it's hard because again, like these are just so early prototypes. These are like you could smell China on them. Like you can smell the China paint on them. Like they're like the first ever early versions of them, right? So is it fair to be like, oh, like Storms look better, but Storms is a finished product. So
Well, you can
I
always
mean,
argue too that the prototypes usually look finished product anyway.
yeah, that's true. I think this Chun Li, I like this Chun Li more than the Storm one.
Mhm.
I like the colors on this one more. I think that the face works a little better. Sometimes people say Jada faces are a little soft, and
Right.
I've seen that before. Like they don't have a lot of like texturing or color or stuff, and um, be the case in the final product. I thought Ray looked good. Again, he looked a little soft in the face,
Mhm.
so there's ways to make that work a little bit. But he also is supposed to look young, so that
Right.
makes sense. Um, yeah, the knees look really good. I think like the knee articulation, and June was saying, and you'll see it in the interview that they're going for a more premium import style with this 2.0 body. So you have your 1.0s with the original Ryu and Ken and a lot of those figures. You have your 1.5 with Akuma, which is going to have increased range vertically and horizontally in the butterfly and just better structurally. And then this is the 2.0 where you see the difference in the knee joint. Let's bring up again one of the older figures. So I mean, this one doesn't work as well because this is you don't have the same type of knee or like the same look. Is this sort of knee joint where it actually the knee doesn't go into the leg, right? But this one on the import one style that they're calling it, a 2.0 body. That one actually does, so it kind of blends a little bit smoother. And I imagine there's going to be texturing within that knee, so that you do have, it's a seamless sort of knee joint. It doesn't look so out of shape. Like with Storm, I mean, let me bring it out really quick. So actually, with Storm, these are sort of domestic knees. The knees on this one have way more of an import look on them on the Jada one. On the Storm, they're just sort of like that sort of same knee. They kind of go in. They do go into the leg, but I guess they do sit a little bit more on the outside, if that makes sense, as
Mhm.
opposed to these knees, which are on the inside. So, but they do move and feel like import. They feel a little bit more like thicker with plastic. So
Right.
this is sort of like a blend between domestic and their knees on Jada look a little bit more like import, which I think you'll have better range. They'll feel a little bit smoother. So maybe on knees I go Jada, arm articulation. Hard to say. They look very well. I love the sort of matte finish on Storm. I do like the face sculpt. It's a very clean. It's just not. You can't compare them right now. I gotta feel them in hand and see how they feel against my body.
Right. Right.
I did say the toe articulation on Storm is some of the best toe articulation I've ever had on the figure. But I'm okay with being like with any line. Like I don't just have to go like I'm only gonna do Mafex X-Men. I can do Marvel Legends X-Men. I can do Jada
Yeah.
Street Fighter. I can do Storm. And what's cool about Jada and the fact that they finished Street Fighter 2 is that they can kind of go so many ways with this. And he mentioned it June on the interview. Go watch it. That they're not sort of married to doing the full Alpha line because we'll see how things go. I think he was like, yeah, they were working on this. They were working on this since last year at New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
So this has been in work for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was basically around the same time that Storm Arena announced their stuff and they had their figures on display at New York Comic Con. So
Right.
then like the competition is staring you at the face, literally, staring
Exactly.
you in the face. So it's like,
Oh,
okay, do we do that? Do we pivot? It's like, okay, maybe we pivot to Third Strike, and those conversations were happening, but they're like, let's just do it. Let's just go for the challenge. Let's see what we can do. I think we're already on the path. Let's just continue it. And then let's see where it lands. Let's see what the people say. If people dig it, then we'll keep doing it. If people are like, oh, I don't know, then, it's like, go back and do it. I'm sure they
that's
have a
good.
plan already in place for their future ways, but, people can always change and figure stuff out. So,
Yeah, there's always ways to go with it, depending on how deep they are in the production. But it's good that he's thinking, well, if this isn't the best line for us to do, they can hopefully choose a different one that might work out a little bit better. But honestly, I'm impressed. I really like them, and I think a lot of people are already committed to Jada. They love what Jada was doing. And I think Jada has just been knocking it out of the park with her Street Fighter. So, I don't know. As much as I like the look of them. I think a lot of people are just gonna be like, I'm really happy with Jada and they're easier
yeah,
to get, and I'm just gonna continue
yeah.
along this path. So I'll be happy if Jada continues to do Alpha or any other Street Fighter line, regardless of who else is doing it.
Right. And we were talking about how, accessibility is such a huge thing, right? And with Storm, if you if Big Bad's your only way of getting them, well, good luck because they keep pushing back the date. Ryu got pushed back to quarter 3. I think Ken pushed back a little later too. Like they might not come out till the end of the year. So at this point, they might come out tomorrow. Who knows? But it's sort of that thing where like you just don't really know. With Jada, you have a pretty good idea when they're going to come out, and he gives you like first quarter it's going to come out, and they usually do. They're on track with things. There doesn't seem
Yeah.
to be any sort of hiccup in their system, and because they're making the figures and also distributing them to different places, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad, Amazon, other places as well. So you
And
know,
I like the
they have
fact
to
that
make sure.
Jada is always in the game. They're there, they're at the cons, they're talking to people, they're talking to the fans, they're
Yeah,
talking to, the toy guys that, bring all this stuff to us. And so, I like a company that is out there and is willing to, socialize with the consumer. And so,
right.
I really appreciate that from Jada and just kind of be able to talk to them and kind of understand. where they're at and where they could go, and just give us that excitement. Just like here they're doing with their other lines, like we saw the Scooby Doo stuff. We get to see the more Mega Man. This is one that we've talked about. I have been wanting Rush forever, so this was exactly what I wanted to see from Jada. I love
Mhm.
Mega Man line, and this is exactly what I was hoping to get, and they delivered a really nice Rush here. And you were telling me some cool stuff about this one, Michael, that it comes in a couple parts.
Yeah, so he comes as 2 figures. So you have your standard Rush figure right here, and you have the Jet. The Jet is its own separate piece. They wanted to make a sort of modular Rush at first, so you can kind of bring his arms in and form the Jet, but it just didn't work. So they're like, okay, let's just put a Rush piece in there. So, and I don't think he's a deluxe figure, I think he's a standard figure. So, he'll come around that $25 price point if things haven't raised by then. Which price is very fluctuating. June is on the more pessimistic side, saying like it's probably going to be more expensive next year. That's the way things are going, and that's sort of just like the overall trend of all toys in general. And everything in general. We ordered food today, the rare occasion that we do, because Christina is an amazing cook and she cooks up a storm of food. Speaking of the storm, but we ordered food and then like each appetizer had rose by $2. And it was just like little things like that, like things are just going to get more and more expensive. So that's going to
Yeah.
happen with toys as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully it won't get too bad. But yeah, it's always uh sad thing to hear the toys continue to go up in price. It's really getting more and more difficult to continue collecting so many different things. And I always say this: toys was always an easy collection because the price was low on a lot of these things, and as the prices continue to grow. But
Yeah.
obviously these toys are made for a different demographic. Before they were simpler, cheaper, 5-point articulation toys that were meant for
Yeah.
younger kids. Now we're getting into super deluxe adult themed figures that are meant to be more collectible and posable. And so I understand costs going up, but man, it just seems to want to continuously keep going in that direction. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
I mean, something like, the Walmart 2-pack of War Machine and Omega Red was $50.
Right.
So that was like a $25 piece. So that was like, okay, that's pretty good. That's like better than the 60. And the 62 was like, $30 is not great, but that kind of seems like where we are now with figures. So
Yeah.
that's the medium price. I asked, like, do you feel like things could go up to 40 per figure? He's like, I don't know. We'll see how things go. But yeah, you just don't really know. But okay, back to like the cool stuff. That get all that negative Nancy news out of the way.
So
Uh,
dark.
the Jet version of Rush looks awesome. He brings these 2 heads, so it's that angry, like that more determined head, and that happy tongue out of the mouth
Are the
type. And
heads
you can,
interchangeable?
yeah, they're interchangeable. Yeah, so you can pop one head off the other, and there's a swivel, so you can move it around on the Jet. This one, and June loves the animals in the Jadaverse sort of thing, the Jada multiverse of figures. Um, because I want to take a closer picture because at the shoulders of dog shoulders is a swivel hinge, so it can swivel around. It has a hinge so you can kind of move it outwards, so it can
Hmm.
have sort of like a cool, strong stance, not just
Yeah.
neutral. Um, enough to where it doesn't go fully into the body. Same thing for Scooby. That kind of idea where it's like it can kind of go in and you can kind of get really cool poses. The articulation of Scooby Doo is insane. Like seeing that now, I at least I wasn't gonna do Scooby Doo, but I at least have to get Shaggy and Scooby. It's
Yeah.
just like you just need those two. They're just perfect. So um yeah, and then he has a double joints at the legs too, like towards the knees, and then articulation, ankle pivot at the feet. It looks really awesome. I think he has also like a torso swivel as well. I don't know if that's on a ball joint or not. Oh, I went way too far. Oh, we gotta go to that too. There's so much I forget. It's like, oh wait, there's this and that. But here's the whole wave 5, wave 4, and wave 5. So wave 5 is Rush, Bomb Man, which you like Bomb Man,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
my man's fantastic.
yeah, and Nuts Man, which is just insane. Just the
And what's
engineering on
and
that
what's
looks so
fun is that they've completed the entire roster for Mega Man.
Yeah, for the first game.
Yeah, from the first game, which is pretty awesome. Like you were saying, Jada likes to complete their lines,
Like
and
my
it's
nose
so
and
cool that
everything.
they finally got all of Wave or the original game out. I'm excited to see if they continue with Mega Man 2, which was always probably my favorite Mega Man game.
Yeah, I don't think so. Uh,
What did he tell you about the future of Mega Man, Michael?
so it looks like Wave 5 is gonna be it, Mega Man for now. They could go back and revisit. I think they're pretty happy with what they've done. There's just so many, and like you said, Mega Man 2 has such an awesome roster. You can do so many, but I think for him it was like, and same thing for Street Fighter. Like we got to complete at least one game, of each one, and then add in the cooler look characters. Like Snake Man was obviously such a good choice. Proto Man so important. Um, I did mention like could we ever get Doctor White, Doctor Light, like those are very important characters as well. A role. He's like, yeah, like probably not now. They're on the list, but they're not high on the list.
Hmm,
So, um,
interesting.
but it looks like Mega Man is going to be taking a different. Mega Man's not done. This version is, but Mega Man's going to continue in a different way.
Right. Kind of like how they're doing with the Street Fighter, now they'll take it
Yeah,
to a different
right,
version of the franchise. Well,
right,
it's
and
actually I'm excited to see what they come
yeah,
up with because like I said, Jada is just fantastic with her action figures.
yeah, and I try to think of like, okay, so like where can it go? Like the obvious one would be X, right? Like if they did Mega Man X, there's so many different bad guys to do that are so cool.
Right.
I know that June is a. I mean, I think we all know that June's a very big fan of Capcom, the fighting games. We've always we talk about it, like on camera, off camera, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting to see where it could go. If you there's like there's X, there's Mega Man Legends. There's different ways you can go with that. So yeah, I'll be excited to see what else. I imagine this time next year, next Comic Con, we're gonna get the first looks at the next line of Mega Man, even before that. But I think he's gonna focus on getting Wave 3. We're out there, and then once Wave 5 is done, I think similar to Street Fighter 2, that like the final wave is like now you can kind of like show off what's coming next, so like
Right,
the
right.
final five figures or something. So
All
yeah,
right. Good.
but yeah, it's cool. But these are awesome. I'm happy to complete the Mega Man 1 roster, and so important. So we get him, and then we get some awesome figures. Gus Man looks absolutely insane. The jaw articulates as well, open and close it, which is really cool.
That is cool.
I'm sure he has like interchangeable pieces. Not sure what other accessories he has, but excited to see what he's going to bring. But yeah, very cool stuff from Jada with Mega Man, and then obviously Invincible. You know,
Yeah, Invincible
um,
was another big one. People were eager to see what it was going to look like, what they were going to do. We finally got a lot of answers here. We see the first lineup. We got to see, what they decided to go. People were curious: is it going to be comic book? Is it going to be animated show? You know, who would be in the first wave? And so we got a lot of those answered here at Comic Con. What was your impression, Michael? Tell us what you thought when you finally saw these revealed in person.
they look great. They look really good. I mean, each one they showed a variety instantly. It wasn't just like two versions of Invincible or two characters that shared the same body. It was three very unique figures. You have your standard Invincible, which has like that's going to be like the standard base body
Hmm.
for the Invincible line, and then you have Kid Omni Man, and so you see the articulation on that one. He said like it's heavily super articulated for a small figure. Like it's crazy what they can do. You have Conquest, which is there as well, and just that massive robotic arm, which would be really coolly engineered on the figure. And they looked awesome. They looked really fun. They looked like they had a good range on the butterflies again. And if I know Jada, they're going to put a lot of love and care into this line. And it's a big property to have for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, a lot of different companies were fighting to get this one. And
Did he?
also the fact that, the what?
No, I was just saying. Did he speak of why they decided to go animated look? Were they trying to follow the Amazon animated show, particularly to kind of
Yeah.
jump off the back of its popularity?
Yeah, I think that was it. It's like the comic book is cool and it has its audience, obviously, but the animation is like, the show is what is the big draw right now,
Yeah, and
right?
it's
And
current. It's
so,
current.
yeah, and also I think there's a consistency level amongst the characters and the design that you can match more with the figures than it would be going to the comic books.
Right.
So it just makes it a little bit not as difficult to do that,
Excellent.
and so yeah, so that was their thought with this, and the fact that Robert Kirkman was at Comic Con and he checked it off, and he went to go see it and give his seal of approval, and I think that's really cool for the team to see that,
Fantastic.
like that live feedback. So yeah,
Yeah.
they look awesome. There's obviously like this is like a deep line. This is gonna go however long Jude and Jada go. So
Yeah, we'll see how far they
excited.
take us. It's definitely an extensive roster here. So many different variations of the characters, not only individual characters. Did he talk about sure what could be we could see in the wave two?
No, he didn't say anything about Wave Two. He didn't say anything about price. These will be up for pre-order. You know, uh, Either they're going to be released the first quarter of next year. I think that's what he said. I'm trying to get like my dates together, but
Mhm.
again, these are like certain prototypes. I think these are a little bit more ahead of schedule than Alpha. Um, for sure. Alpha is not going to come out until Street Fighter 2 is done. So once Street Fighter 2 is done, then they're going to move on to Alpha releases. So Street Fighter 2, I think that the plan is to have that all done by like the first, second quarter of next year. And then you'll see Alpha maybe like towards like the fall of next year.
Okay.
I could see that right, like or like late summer, early fall or something. But yeah, not sure on the releases. Not sure about Wave Two. They did mention. I asked him like, "Oh, who's your favorite character?" And he's like, "I can't answer that." Because it's like, or is it because like he's the lead designer, so he picks his favorite characters to do, So
I
I
guess so.
tried to get him with that one, and he didn't bite. So he caught on pretty quickly to my game.
Oh,
But
boy. Not as sneaky as you thought you were,
I
Michael.
know, yeah, he caught on. Like I always tell me his favorite characters. So now he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
He
So
sniffed you
uh,
out like a truffle cake.
yeah, I know. Oh no, I just dropped my toys. Falling apart, man, falling apart.
Like the breakfast
Um,
all over again.
I know, I
All
know.
right. Well, let's move along a little quicker here. I know you've had an amazing adventure, but it's definitely wears you out. Hit us with some more, just like key points of things that you really love, saw that you were just kind of blown away. I know you spoke with some other great companies here. Just kind of give us a quick run through of other great things you got to cover and see.
Yeah, sure. Hiya Toys. I didn't talk to anyone there, but they showed off the prototypes for their Mega Man X line. I mean, we've been needing X stuff for a while. Last one that did it was Figure Arts way back when. I mean, that was like 2015 back then.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting, I think I got Vile at Comic Con 10 years ago. So
Vile. Which one's Vile? I remember.
Vile, he's an X. He is the purple one. He also brought a glass of whiskey. I guess he drinks whiskey or something, which is weird for a robot. So
I remember at Chris for your birthday. I think I gave you base from that line, and here is
oh,
my Comic Con. The vac metal X that was available.
oh,
There
that
was
back metal is so cool.
there was the vac metal one, which is really really neat. I just love the way I'm always a sucker for these kind of like finishes, anything vac metal.
Yeah.
So when I saw this one, I was like, I want it, I needs it. Can you see it there? I hate this thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then, just since we're talking about that, and since the show is a little bit of a different format today, we're going to just kind of do our yellowing in more impromptu. And here is
Yeah.
the exclusive black version of
Zero. Yeah.
Zero.
Of
Uh,
the man.
there was also an exclusive version. So these are.
Great one.
I didn't collect a lot of this line like you did, but I did get these two characters because these were definitely some of my just
Super
favorite
cool.
design characters.
Yeah, I regret
Um,
not getting that zero. I like that version too, just because of the game where he turns that color.
yeah, he was like the nega zero, and he was like
Yeah,
all
yeah,
lit up.
exactly. You have to bring him back. You have to give him all the chips. You can come
Yeah,
back to real. Well, no, you fight Nega Zero, and then the real Zero, if you get all the chips, comes in and saves the day and knocks them out. You're like, yeah, come on, Zero, yeah, baby, let's
Right.
do this.
Yeah, that was a really fun.
Heart pump.
That was a really fun game. So I
Yeah,
would definitely love to see more of that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Kind of vibes.
tell
But yeah,
us,
so back to
tell us
Haya with Mega Man. They're doing Zero. We already saw X before. A little bit more updated. You can see all the articulation, the kind of crazy range he's going to have, and then Sigma is a huge one. We have never ever gotten an actual Sigma. We got the figure arts Zero Sigma, which looks really awesome and badass, and the scale is massive, super powerful figure. But we never got like nothing like this. Yeah, nothing like this. So this is super cool, and you can see all the accessories. He brings his sword, the slash effect, all sets of hands, the different head expressions, the smirking, the sort of angry one, charge effects, different face plates for X, and also RoboCop was there because I really love RoboCop, and who doesn't? And yeah, so highest stuff. I'm also excited about. They make some excellent figures, and I can't wait to see those figures come out in art. Super detailed looking figures. This is their Black Myth Wukong line, which looked absolutely outstanding. The armored Wukong is so cool. The detail, the sculpt, the paint, the soft goods. It's crazy to get this amount of detail in such a small figure. That's not 1/6 scale. It looks like 1/6, just shrunken
right.
down, which is insane.
And speaking of in art and their amazing detail, a lot of people were impressed. You know, we saw their amazing job with the Dark Knight, and they released some prototype images of Man of Steel. You know, Henry Cavill Superman, and it just looked fantastic. So I think a lot of people are excited. We have to see these other ones, but I think a lot of people were asking themselves, will they try to tackle the new Superman, James Gunn Superman, with what's the name, Corn Sweat?
Yeah, yeah, corn sweat.
Corn Sweat, and you know, and see if
Corn
maybe
sweat.
they can get the Scooter McGavin out of the head and make it look more like the actual actor.
I brought it up with Justin during our tour. I was like, "Should I say it? I'm going to say it." You know, because he was like, "Yeah, I'm aware." You know, but when I saw it in person, it did look better. It did look better in person. So I will say that the problem images were just like, "Oh," you know, but in person it did look better. I will say that.
That's
But yeah, but I don't think there's anyone doing detail the level of 112. I mean, this
yeah, in
the
art is
Batman, this Battinson figure. I
yeah,
mean, look at this. Look at the armor. Look at all the accessories on the belt. Just like the texture, the worn out material, and that is a wired cape now. It looks like they're going to do wired capes. Their future
yeah,
figures.
it's amazing what InArt is capable of in their 1/12, because
Look at
there
this
was a
thing, dude.
I
Look
know,
at this. It's insane.
there was a video of Hot Toys showing off their Superman to Corn Sweat, and even he was like, "Yeah, I don't see myself. I don't know who that is."
Oh, he said that.
Yeah, he said it on an interview with the guy standing in front of him, and so I mean, it's got to be kind of rough for a company that is known, you know, their likeness and just super detail in their figures,
It's like,
and
oh, we fucked up.
so it's amazing that
Yeah.
InArt is able to capture such incredible detail on such a smaller scale. So,
Look at the
yeah,
death stroke.
I
That's
think
crazy.
InArt is really making a name for themselves right now. I think they're gonna start competing with like Mezco and those kind of more higher end figures because just the level of detail and I mean it's impressive.
What if someone mentioned this in the comment, and what if Hot Toys started to do 112?
That would be interesting, you know? I would love to see what they would come up with, you know? It would be quite the project for them, you know, because I mean, they know how to do detail. They know how to capture it. My big question is, will they be able to do that on a much smaller scale? Because it's
Mhm.
always hard to go small, you know? That's where you lose a lot of
I know.
yeah, you know about that, Michael.
I know it's way too bad.
So yeah, that would be an interesting one. I don't know if I mean they're pretty set on their 1/6. That's what they're known for. But hey, a lot of companies are pivoting, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get one day to see what a 1/12 hot
Yeah.
scale, hot
Yeah.
scale. Hot Toys
Ooh,
over there,
hot scale. That could be it. They could call it like hot scale, hot
right?
toys, hot scale. Yeah. There you go. We got the name for you. Mezco. I mean, look, movie turtles. They're doing movie turtles, which
That
is
was a
just
big one. More turtles. I mean, everybody's doing turtles, but Mezco is such a great company. They did an amazing job with their turtles. They did what was it, a couple years ago now?
yep.
And now they're doing movie turtles. And I mean, I didn't think that people could, you know, compete with NECA's movie turtles because they were done so well. But I don't know, man. The quality of Mezco and these turtles, I am very excited.
Yeah. Yeah. They look really awesome. Their heads are a little big, but they're early prototypes. They can only shrink them out a little bit. And but again, like, are you gonna pay $400 for a full set of movie turtles? Or are you happy with your NECA ones? And if you're not happy with your NECA ones, well, you're in luck because they're gonna do versions of their movie turtles again. So, you
Which
know,
this was a question for me. Is this just more like an ultimate edition with more
yeah,
accessories and stuff?
yes,
Do they
this
come
is
with just different head sculpts?
Yeah, different head sculpts. Some of these accessories you've seen, I think, in multi packs, so they're just including them, like the pizza box, and
Mm.
I don't know about the fire. I think that's new, but like the newspaper, pizza slices, the the ooze is there, the straw hat, the marshmallows. I mean, it's all cool, and the box is really cool. And like you said, different heads. But I'm still happy with my original turtles. Like, they still hold up. They're still great.
And like
I
I
enjoy
said,
them.
the accessories are cool. For those who don't have them, a great way to get them because you get so much more with them.
Yeah,
But are the accessories enough to make me buy them again? Probably not, So like
right,
I think once you have these already, and like I said, a lot of the accessories end up just going in a bin, never to
right,
be seen again. And
right,
so, that's why I'm always kind of wary to buy stuff just for accessories,
Mm,
unless it's literally
right.
something like mind blowing that I feel like I need to have to really, make it something
Right.
new.
Well, that's why you would do Mezco, because those are like very much upgraded figures with the
Right.
articulation, with like ton. They all have tons of accessories too. You already know, you
Yeah.
know. So, and multiple head, like each figure is going to have at least 3 or 4 head sculpts.
Yeah,
So,
and so and for that reason, I think I would lean more towards if I were to buy movie tours again, I would probably go with the Mesco ones.
yeah, they'll be more expensive, but that's
You're
just the name
getting
of
a
the
lot.
getting a lot. Shredder looked really good. That prototype.
A lot
Um,
of people are complaining about the baggy pants. They're just saying it just doesn't look right. What do you think?
They look a little baggy. I mean, but I mean, it looks like in pictures it's always hard to tell. I think in the figure, when you see it, it looks good. I didn't have any complaints, but
It's probably because he's not wearing Caterpillar boxer briefs.
if you're gonna go hunt down these toy tools, you probably gotta wear some Caterpillar boxer briefs to keep everything in place.
Exactly, exactly. He's
Yeah,
just he's just free balling under this.
it's just not a good move. That's why he loses all the time. So,
Damn
but
assholes!
but he looked cool. This is the Casey, with the gray pants and the red sleeveless shirt, which
Gongala,
obviously,
gongala.
yeah, very Gongala stuff. That looked really cool. I'm happy that I'm sure that will be a general release, which is great for people that didn't get the first time. I mean, Garfalo, like Garfield with Odie like this, like, yeah, give me that. I'll take a Ninja Turtle Garfield, like, no
Yeah,
problem.
people were very excited about that. Supposedly that was from like a comic strip or some sort of advertisement where he dresses up as Ninja Turtle to go talk to the turtles. I can't remember exactly where I was reading where it came from, but it's pretty cute.
I love it. I love it. 2012 Turtle looked really good too. The paint applications, the texture, all that, they really mimic the cartoon. They have Raphael, Leo, Mikey. I love the Mikey one. I think Donatello was probably my favorite looking one. And then you have Shredder, which looked, sharp, looked very painful to handle, very pointy. You got your foot soldiers, and you got more stuff. You have your Karai. There's more of the Mirage stuff here. This torn up face of that sculpt
Rap
looks so
Shredder.
good. Yeah, the Raph Shredder, Cyborg Dan of Donatello looked really good. Yeah, Raph Shredder looks badass. There's your Gongala, So you had that Casey Jones match, which is really cool to have. which we haven't seen yet. The chainsaw, all that stuff, looking really really cool. This one I'm familiar with. I don't know nobody.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one, but he still look
One
cool.
of the yeah, I don't really remember him. I think he feels vaguely familiar. This is a
Mm.
big one here, Mikey. Tell us about the Mezco Hulk. Everyone
Yeah,
says either he's too veiny or his head's too big. What were your thoughts? I know you know a lot about veiny, meaty things. So tell
yeah.
me your
It's
expertise.
either too small or too veiny. I can't get it just right for some reason. I can't find the middle ground. I thought he looked awesome. I thought he looked really cool. Yeah, he's super ripped and like dehydrated almost, and
Yep.
completely veiny. But it's just like a take on the Hulk that I think no one's really done before. It's always like very smooth and nothing like that. So I like that they try to do something different.
I
The
like
head looked a little big, I think, depending on the angle. Like there doesn't look too
that was
bad.
my big gripe was that the head just seems way too big for him. Usually the Hulk has a little, small head. That's usually how
Yeah.
he's drawn. That's how he's really represented. I find kind of the over dramatic muscles and veins. I kind of like that look. I've seen a lot of artists like Silvestri draw him like that, and I always thought it looked really cool. Plus,
Mm,
that was one of the things I liked more about like the Edward Norton Hulk because I thought he looked more ripped, more chiseled than more
yeah.
of like this like bubbly, meaty Hulk. I mean, it's not a bad thing, I think, that he's so, defined, but the
Yeah.
giant head kinda sours it for me.
Yeah, I can see that. If they go back, I mean, this is still pretty early prototype, I think. I don't think we're going to get this anytime soon this year. I think this is a
Mhm.
next year type of Hulk. So they can kind of go back and maybe just, again, like with the turtle, shrink the head by like 10-15%. And then I think you're cooking. But I do like the body. I think like the veiny stuff, it just makes them like stand out, makes them pop a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's not the smooth looking Hulk that we've seen with so many other lines. It's like I like that they're trying something different. It's like
Yeah,
a
sure.
it's like a yeah, like a malnourished watermelon like on his shoulders here. It's just like veiny and popping and just grotesque. And Hulk should be sometimes
Yeah.
like that. You can't be like slender, sexy, smooth Hulk all the time. So
Yeah, you can't look like a Abercrombie& and Fitch,
yeah, yeah,
muscle
yeah.
version.
Exactly. I do hope that for the head sculpt they include a smart Hulk, so I can kind of get like the Capcom version. That's
I want
sort
a
of the
I want
one.
a bearded Hulk, like Savage Hulk.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, if we're doing head sculpts, what are the ones you're getting? This one, you want a Savage Hulk? I want a Smart Hulk. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm that sounds right to me. Give us those 3 and I'm done.
Done. Would you pay extra if it's a deluxe version with a Bruce Banner? Would you
Uh,
like
you
that?
know, I wanna jump and say, "Yeah, I want that," but it's like, do I really want a Bruce Banner? I kinda just like the Hulk anyway because I like to mess around and play, big beefy
Yeah.
character, and then I just stand the little Bruce Banner next to him. I don't
Yep.
know.
Yep. Yep.
Depending on
Okay.
price point, if it's like, not a huge difference, yeah, sure, throw them in. But, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think people would
Mhm.
like it's just part of the Hulk. Uh,
Yeah.
you just 2 sides of the coin, but
Yep.
price point wise, I think I would probably just be happy with the Hulk. What about you? You want that banner?
Not really. I think it's a cool idea, but it's like I don't like. I could find some sort of like standard looking person and just make him Bruce Banner. I don't need it. Like I'm not gonna display Bruce Banner really unless I'm doing like a dedicated Hulk shelf. If I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I think if
if
you're
I'm making Hulk with other Marvel characters, I'm probably not gonna throw Banner in there.
yeah, if you're a big Banner fan and you like the Hulk and you just that's your thing, yeah, you want Bruce Banner. But I think
Yeah,
the star of the show here is the Hulk. Everybody wants to see the Hulk, so I'm with you on
yeah.
that one. Scratch it, Michael. Scratch it with that bendy arm.
That's why I got this thing. It's stretching all over the place.
I love it. I love it.
Um,
All right.
Batman. Let's move in a few more things, then we'll wrap up. Batman, I thought looked really good. People were complaining that the chest is not broad enough, and that he slimmed down at the waist, very much like the animated
He's
style.
missing that Bruce Timm styling.
Yeah, which is hard to do for a figure. But I think like the legs are thin enough where you kind of get the sort of like the style of it, so it's sort of there. I like that the cowl, I like the separate cowl from the cape still looks a little wonky to me.
Mm.
But I do like the blue inside of the cape, so I think that's a really good touch. Hopefully, it brings some extra capes that I could wrap. If they do include that, we saw all the accessories, so I don't know if they're going to add anything else like that, but we'll see. And then scroll forward, and then you can see the Joker. I thought Joker looked really awesome. The head sculpt is so on point,
And
and
he's got
brings
your
that
coconut cream pie ready for you, Michael.
cream pie ready for you. I had my mouth open, ready for that cream pie.
Feed
So
me, Michael.
ready
Feed
to
me.
receive it. They're doing Dark Knight too. Dark Knight looked really cool. I'm happy with my in art, but hey, this thing's gonna be up the wazoo with accessories. I'm curious to see what their Christian Bale Bruce Wayne head sculpt looks like.
Right.
And then you got your Heath Ledger Joker, which looks actually pretty badass.
Yeah, I think
So
that one's going to be very popular. People are
yeah,
very keen on Ledger's Joker, so I can definitely see this one being a hot commodity.
Marv looked so good. The Sin City Marv. Um, if you're a Sin City fan, I feel like that's a must have. It looks
Yeah.
really good, and the black and white just it pops. Even like black and white, you're like, how's that pop? It just does. It just stands out amongst everything. Nightcrawler also debuted here at Meta's. Very cool Nightcrawler. They do some awesome X-Men stuff. That thing's gonna move pretty
Yeah,
well.
it looks really nice. I like the take they did too on the styling. It has kind of its own kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very cool figure. And there are a lot of Nightcrawler
Yeah.
fans out there. So I think there'll be a lot of happy people adding that to their X-Men.
This is a personal favorite just because I love this show, Rock with Modern Life. As
Yes.
part of the Mondo Squad stuff, I'm like, I gotta get this one. This is just a must.
Jennifer was like, we are definitely buying that. We are getting
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You
A
know,
must have. I'm
she
getting this for me.
she grew up.
Getting
Yeah,
this for
she
my
grew up on
sister.
Rocco.
Oh, there you go. See,
You
so
remember,
yeah,
you
see,
remember that year I dressed up as Rocco for
that's
Halloween?
right. You did. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I need pictures of that. We need to throw that up on the website. Yeah, man, just like some things. There's like
So many
Mayfix also had their event, Metacom exhibition. They showed off a new 2.0 Superman, which got people excited. It has like the eagle
Yeah, to go
statue
along with
there
the black Hush Batman that they did.
with the gargoyle stand. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. They also showed off a Maverick, which is very cool.
That what got me really excited. I like my X-Men, and I've always, there's some characters that for some reason just really stick with me, and Maverick was always one of them. So
Mhm.
I don't, very kind of obscure. If you know kind of Wolverine lore, you know who he is. And I don't know why, I just thought he was a character. I can't wait to get
Yeah.
that. Man, I
Yeah.
was so happy
Marvel
when Marvel Legends did them. And so not to get a Mafex, forget it,
Oh
man.
yeah, I love that Mayfix one. Marvel Legends had their panel. That was really cool to be part of. Mephisto, the new major order figure, $80. It was a not brand new, but very updated with new articulation. And like
Yeah, I
very
think we all
fiendish,
suspect
devilish
that he was
accessories.
yeah, we all suspected he was on his way, especially with his debut in you. And
Yeah.
so, we knew they had already worked on the figure, so just a matter of time before they released it. So I'm glad to see it. A lot of people are gonna be happy to finally get this character in the new format.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I was very excited about was Feral from X-Force. I
Yeah, Farrell.
Oh man, was I happy about that one. Another one I just really been wanting to complete my teams. So that was really, really cool. What about
Yeah.
you, Mikey? Anything else jumped out at you?
Just all the friends I made along the way.
Well, let's do some quick bullet points to just kind of close out this whole experience for our listeners here. So, tell us, Mikey, what was the most outrageous thing you saw at Comic Con? Did anything
Huh.
you walked by, you're like, holy crap, what's that? Oh my gosh!
There was a person in a massive Galactus costume that was
Oh, I think
roaming
I saw
the
that on some of the
halls.
feeds.
Yes, that was insane. That thing was so elaborate and crazy. I'm trying to find a video of it on their Instagram.
Yeah, I
I like
think I saw that scrolling through the interwebs.
yeah, here we go. I got this is I'm gonna show like a lot of people dressed up in a Fantastic Four costumes, and then you turn around and look at that massive
Yeah.
Galactus.
That's cool.
It's and like everything was lighting up, everything moved in the head and the body. It was like it's absolutely crazy. I like galactic made by myself and my team. So this is Extreme Costumes. Shout out to Extreme Costumes for just going balls to the wall with this. That's how I walked into Comic Con.
You felt like Galactus.
No, I felt like the sexy Galactus.
Ready, you were Galacta in the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Consume Comic Con, weren't you, Michael?
I was. I consumed it all I need to consume.
So, what is your best moment for your experience at Comic Con this year?
Oh man, I think like just connecting with all the people that were out there. You know, unparalleled MCU collector, art with toys, playing with myself, like the whole Wade crew out there. Some other people like Toy Daddies, The Amazing, Professor Hack. I'm missing a lot. It's like I'm giving an award speech right now. I want to thank you all. I can't thank everyone, but you know who you are. And but yeah,
did you get any bad rubs? Did anybody rub you the wrong way?
No bad rubs. I will say the last day, I felt like each day just escalated in terms of like what I wanted to accomplish. So Saturday, I had 4 interviews back to back to back to back. So it was Mondo. I raced over, and then I went to Bandai, and then I had a little time off, and I did Jada. And then, like in the time off, I was still editing stuff. I was like recording B-roll and uploading stuff to the Instagram, going over the Hasbro and trying to coordinate an interview time and figuring that whole thing out. I realized that on Saturday I hadn't eaten all day, nor drank water, nor used the bathroom. I hadn't eaten for 24 hours. By the time it hit me when I got to the airport, I was like, what happened? Well, because look, so one thing that did happen that was like, it showed that like I'm committed to this was I wanted to get some Hasbro stuff your way. So I got in line, I bought the things. I was like, all right, I'll take care of this. It was like around 5:00. Dumb me didn't realize that FedEx inside Comic Con closes at 5:00, which is, if I have to give a criticism, is that why is FedEx not
the worst part? If you have
that was the worst. This was the worst part. Why is FedEx open up until the exhibition closes? Why are you closed 2 hours before? It doesn't make sense. People are still shopping, still getting stuff. Like, why does it have to be so early in the morning when people are waiting in line? You know, that thing was doing that. That was my big criticism.
We need to write FedEx and let them know. We need to say, hey, you need to consider the people here. You're missing out valuable business. You're hurting your reputation. FedEx, do better.
Do better. Do better. Like Caterpillar underwear. Exactly. That's the company that knows how to do better. Damn it. So, yeah. So it was like, to then I found an Office Depot that was like a half mile away. And so, it's not so easy just to leave a convention because you have to go through these tight lines of people on the sidewalk and all this chaos. And I'm running through. I'm trying to figure out how to get there. And like I'm running, I see Geek Dad Life, and he's with his kid. He's like, "Hey, how's your comic?" I'm like, "It's good, good." And I'm running with like these massive Hasbro bags to get him over to Office Depot. I get there. I have to pack everything myself, and then they close in 10 minutes. So I'm like rushing, taping, going back to my Toys R Us.
Get this kid out of here.
Exactly. Oh man, I thought they were gonna kick me out. I got so worried when I got to Office Depot. Like, if this doesn't work, I'm dead. I'm a dead man.
Rude. Dead in the water.
Rude.
I can't go home.
I can't go home. I couldn't go home. I have to delay my flight till the next morning. Then so then it worked out, and I hustled my ass back to the convention, and then I got there just in time to set up for the live stream that we did for the
amazing, Michael. I mean, I'm telling you, Michael, sometimes you just blow my mind. Such a warrior for toys.
Give it up.
So tell us, what was your toy of the show? What did you see? And you're like, holy moly, this is number one thing here.
I mean, it's a new fig smell, obviously.
Love that new figure smell.
Yeah, my toy, and let me bring up this camera here. Yeah, I mean, I got the Jada stuff. Like, I was like very excited to get that. At first, like, I don't know, but then it was like, yeah, I kind of do. They just look awesome. The bison's really cool. I like the. I mean, it's more orange than red, so it's not Christmas color bison technically. So but it's like a festive version, which I like. You know, he got the thumb, he got the smirking face. He
He's like the
brings
Mardi Gras bison.
Mardi Gras bites, exactly. He need to bring some beads too. He's got the flamed up body, which is so great. He's got this massive Psycho Crusher effect, so you just stick him in there. Yeah, so that's really cool.
You're gonna be using that for something else, Michael. I don't know.
You just hit my ring. It's perfect. Yeah, you got this little part right here, so he's just the perfect cylinder. So Psycho Crush your lovers.
Michael, so inappropriate.
You brought it up.
No, I thought you were gonna use it for like a bath toy. I don't know.
A bath toy. Yeah, that's it. And then a doll theme too. I like this this dried out blue color.
We call it zombie Dawson.
Yeah, zombie theme. Yeah, so he's awesome. He brings, and what's great is that they also bring the same accessories for player one. So you got the blow face right there. Yeah,
make us a good blow face, Michael. There.
I need a little.
You should animate some fire when you do it.
I do a little head dance.
There
I shouldn't do that. That's terrible.
Why, is that not good? Is that
you can dance it? Is that canceled?
I don't think
Are we
so.
canceled?
I mean, why can't we celebrate each other's culture?
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm dancing. I'm dancing right now. So
dancing.
All
right.
Yeah,
all right.
man.
What was your favorite interview? You talked to a lot of people. You had some good ones. Which interview?
Oh, they're all my favorite. They're like my children. I can't just pick one.
You can't pick one. You won't give me another interview next time.
Well, no. I mean, like the booth tour at Bandai was so cool. So many things to talk about. Marvel Legend guys are really fun. They're just so excited about their products and their content. And shout out to Mr. Stevie as well, who is just an absolute darling. And then June just like so candid and is like down to talk, even though he's talking, but he's good at it. It was his first panel, and he was kind of nervous, but like he crushed it. So yeah, shout out to him for doing his thing and just being down to talk and cool. I always feel bad because like I'm recording him like in his face, and it's like it feels like a hostage video where it's like I'm forcing him to talk and yeah, tell me everything or you get it. But he was totally cool and super fun to hang out. I didn't know this too. We were hanging out, and he used to play hockey. He was a goalie for a year.
You were a goalie, Michael.
I know. He used to play roller hockey. So
did you guys become best friends?
I think we became. Well, in my mind, I did. In my heart, and I think he deleted my number. We touched flame bodies. That's what we did.
That's awesome, though. That's pretty cool. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, small world. There's so many connects that people have. There's so many ways you can reach people. I mean, you know, we're all there for the toys and the fun stuff, but you know, you can always connect with people on different levels, and it's cool that you guys kind of had similar interests, and you were both goalies. That's pretty awesome. So
yeah, it was something so random, so it's cool. And then Mondo was the first interview of the day, and they were excited to talk about their stuff, and I fed off the energy them talking about Motu. Your
interview with Mondo is fantastic. I recommend everybody watching that. You know, Mondo does such a good job, and they had some incredible stuff. We didn't really get to talk too much about Mondo on this one. We'll probably bring it up a little later, but some of the reveals were amazing. You know me,
we got a little like sort of exclusive name reveal that they're gonna work on. So no extent planned yet, but if you watch the interview, when we talk about Batman, he does mention something that they're going to be working on in the future.
All right, Mikey, big question. Would you do it again?
110%, man. 110%. I'm paying for it today. My body's broken. I've been sort of like in and out of a coma. Godzilla -1. And I was like, this is so good. I just like, I couldn't do it. You know, I just, I'm winded, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy I did it.
All right, you go back in time and you remember everything you went through, and you got to do it again. Would you do anything different?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Everything.
Everything.
I mean, I
No,
really.
I think trying to space out the things I want to do, but then like like things take a turn for whatever reason, So like you had a plan ahead of time, and then it changes, or you're in like a different location, or you're hanging with different people, and it kind of like you try to just sort of find your groove with whatever's happening. Like Friday, I wasn't expecting to go see Fantastic Four and then to hang out and then do a live stream with Unparalleled and just talk and have a good time, and then get bullied by three children. So, which happened. We got bullied by kids. They were like stepbrothers, and
That's terrible. They made you eat dog shit.
they made not that far, but it felt like it was close. It felt like we were on the verge of eating dog shit.
I see you and Wade getting pushed down.
Yeah, like, maybe I got
No,
dog
don't
shit
do
in
it.
me. Yeah.
That's too funny, man.
Yeah,
That's
it got dangerous there, but we were okay. But yeah, man, I think like just like figuring out like the order of how to get things. I think now it's like okay, I know how the line works. Sometimes I know which are the ones you want to go for, and then you can hit the other ones later, so it's not too intense. I think also like if you have a location close by, that's really important because then you can just get stuff, offload things, and then you don't have to feel like you're just like kind of like weighing yourself down all day, which is my problem. Which is like and again, shout out to Gonzo for letting me stay with him, but then to try and figure out like how to like take everything, maneuver thing if I want to get stuff early. But then you don't have to get stuff early. You can kind of wait unless there's something like super rare. I think it's like a smaller company like Mezco or Four Horsemen,
Mhm.
like those are ones you want to hit first. You want to hit like the smaller ones first, right? And then you can kind of move your way up. You can go to your McFarlane. I went to McFarlane. There was no line. There was like one person waiting. But then like they sold out of everything today, so you never know how things
Yeah.
are gonna go. But you just kind of have to kind of think like, okay, obviously like the big companies are gonna have big lines. Mattel, Hasbro. Mattel is just kind of crazy. So I think now it's like if things stay the same, I know where to go first. That would be my only thing, and then like how to ship everything. But outside of that, it felt pretty good. Like I was really happy with how everything turned out.
I think you did a great job. I mean, you really got a lot of content there. We got to hear and see so many great things courtesy of you. Much appreciated from that. We're also super appreciative of all the goodies you sent our way.
Oh
Let
yeah,
everybody know that, they'll be available at Hidden Temple Toys, hiddentempletoys.com. So, keep us in mind if you're looking for anything that you might have wanted or might have missed out on, or, just couldn't get to. If you did go to Comic-Con or if you didn't get to go, this is a cool chance to pick up some of the stuff that might have already sold out. So
yeah.
again, Michael, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for
You. Thank
going
you.
the extra mile and really,
I can
doing just doing
go
me.
the distance. Well, you know what? Shout out to you. Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Hidden Temple Toys. The whole team at Figures Not Included for helping facilitate this because this was like up to the last minute of making it happen. We weren't sure if it was going to work out, but we did it, and then we secured everything. We got our interviews lined up. We had all the stuff we wanted to take care of, all the different goodies we wanted to get, and I think it was a pretty good success. I know she wanted Labubu's. I know Labubu's are super hot right now.
Jen's
I
not
made a
happy with me.
Labubu. I know I'm on her shit list right now. I'm really sorry
You made
about
a
that.
do. That's what you did, Michael.
I made a big old doo. Yeah.
Well,
So I'll try
again,
better next.
yeah, next year, do better, Michael.
There's one thing I can get over, from all of this is that I need to
you
do better.
you go to Labubu first, Michael. Everything else
Always go to Labubu first.
doesn't matter. All right,
Screw
Michael.
everyone else. You go to Labubu. End of story.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks to all our fantastic friends here to watch our show. Appreciate you as always. We showed off some really amazing toys from Comic-Con, some really
Oh,
cool
so
stuff
great.
that Mikey had there. But again, unfortunately, right, Michael?
These figures not included.
Not included.
Sorry,
Have a
y'all.
good one.
Peace out. Bye bye.